friends. So there are two you. You know, a colonel is a colonel when he's at the battlefield, and also when he's a little different guy when he's playing with his son, and you know. So we want to talk because I want all of us to. We have been little unfair. As a society, we have been little unfair to one part of the society, which is LGBTQ plus rather. When we were kids in the school, we were taught there are two genders. There is a he and there is a she only. We were never taught that there are human beings who exist with us in the same city, on the same planet, who breathe the same way I do and you do. We were never taught this. We have been unfair also, you know, right from our early days as kids. Whenever we saw someone queer, little different, as we were little unusual and different with them. We always made those kids feel that they are not part of us. And I want your attention for a while here that it's not only us, but it is also made them feel that they are not part of us. Now imagine, so I have two sons. One is studying in the first year of his college and the second one is in 10th grade. As a father, if my son walks up to me and says that I am in love with another boy, I don't think before meeting you guys my reaction would have been what it will be now. It is like, fine, you know, all those LGBTQ movements are okay, but my son, you cannot be like that. But now, after being a part of this movement, I know that I am an ally as much as, others are. So friends, quickly I'll come to the point and I'll hand over the mic and the mics to the panelists here. The agenda here in Pride Fest is that who will tell Bangalore and Karnataka and TN and other states and the rest of the country, who will tell them that we all collectively need to take care of our fellow human beings, irrespective of their gender, irrespective of their identity. It's you guys, the press. Because if press will not tell you that there were corporates in Bangalore and Bombay and other places who said that we do support, but see, we can't come public and
Me, I'm actually a non-binary person. My pronouns are like he, she. I'm okay with that. And especially me, I'm not a transgender yet. So whenever I do a drag shows, I have to be like a clean shaven and I have leftover makeups with me, and I'll be always traveling a lot of places, especially as Deepthi mentioned, the airport lines and any kind of a queues that I go in. I always have, they will be always like confused that, which line they have to send me, where I feel like really, should I go in a female line? Should I go in a male line? When I stand in the male line, they always confused, you shouldn't be standing there, you should be going there. But am I actually supposed to go there? That is always have these issues. I think they have to really come up with something, the inclusivity and where we all can be included without any kind of a fear of going in any kind of places like that.
Friends who's little transgender, cross-dresser transgender, they're always confusing about which side I have to go. So there's a things, there are many places, hotels and movie theaters, airports and all. They have to make it little inclusive for making separate restrooms for transgender community, so that they can free to go those areas and yeah. So just
such social expectation, because you're something different of a so-called manly and womanly, because you're part of the social construct. Anything apart from, Vishal and what's your name? Deepthi. If you do something different, you're always targeted, always discriminated. Not only airports or in the queues, public toilets, public transportation, accessing or occupying the public spaces like parks, cinema halls, malls, walking on the streets. So this was a pathetic situation 20, 25 years ago, even still sometimes. You get it? So there's also notion, no, Muslims means terrorists, Christians means converters, transgender means child kidnappers. So this notion, how do you fight? I think fighting that notion is one side, fighting against the system of health is one side, fighting against the system of education is one side. You got it? Fighting for yourself is one side, fighting family is one side, fighting the social spaces is even so worse actually. ಅಷ್ಟು ತುಂಬ ಕಷ್ಟ ಇದೆ ಸಮಾಜದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗಿ ಒಂದು ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿ ಇದನ್ನ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ ಗೊತ್ತಾ, ಸ್ವತಂತ್ರ ಬಂದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ 12 ಗಂಟೆಗೆ ಒಂದು ಮಹಿಳೆ ಯಾವಾಗ ಆಚೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾಳೋ ಅವಾಗ ನಮಗೆ ಸ್ವತಂತ್ರ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿದ್ದು ಅಂತ. In the context of transgender women or transgender communities is concerned, it is very difficult. ಸ್ವತಂತ್ರ ಬರಲಿ ಬರದೇ ಇಲ್ಲ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಹೋಗೋದೇ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಕಷ್ಟ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಬೆಳಗ್ಗೆನೇ ಕಷ್ಟ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಸಂಜೆನೂ ಕಷ್ಟ ಆಗಿದೆ, ರಾತ್ರಿನೂ ಕಷ್ಟ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಸೊ ಹೌ ಡು ಯು ಆಕ್ಯುಪೈ ಯುವರ್ ಸ್ಪೇಸಸ್? ಬಹುಶಃ ನೀವು ನಮಗೆ ಅದರ ಉತ್ತರಗಳನ್ನ ಕಂಡುಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ. ಈವನ್ ದ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸ್ ಕನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಮೆಟ್ರೋ ಇದು ಮೆಟ್ರೋ ಕಟ್ಟಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ many transgender sex workers were displaced. There was so much of displacement happened. And where are my people? Where are my people? Even the people are surviving their lives in public toilets, big trees, parks, bus stands. There are my people who are surviving their day and life.
Yeah. So it really pains.
Minorities movement or any feminist movement or child rights movement, I think this is a space for people to come together to speak on the issue that broadly how it is burning for people's identities and issues like that. I think coming from that background, you know that many of my community members were struggling a lot because of identity crisis. Because we did not have the space to speak about in open about sexual orientation is concerned. The struggles and challenges of people in the entire society was so rigid, and they weren't accepting the way you were there 25 years ago. Because you were in street, because the ಬೀದಿಲಿ ಇದ್ದು ಒಂದೇ ಕಾರಣಕ್ಕೆ, because sex work ಮಾಡೋ ಒಂದೇ ಕಾರಣಕ್ಕೆ, ಭಿಕ್ಷಾಟನೆ ಮಾಡೋ ಒಂದೇ ಕಾರಣಕ್ಕೆ, the society was so neglected in accepting the way you are. The amount of police violence, the amount of false cases against us, the amount of torture, the amount of discrimination we have gone through is unimaginable. And in the process, Akai could be the face here, but there are so many people who gave up their lives, who were killed, who were assassinated. ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಕೊಂದಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಹತ್ಯೆಗಳನ್ನ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಅಮಾನುಷವಾಗಿ ಹಿಂಸೆಗಳನ್ನ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. I think many of you know as journalists, and you are also being part of our journey, being part of sexual minorities movement. And today is 28th of June. ಈ ದಿನವನ್ನು ನಾವು ಯಾಕೆ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಆಯಿತು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ವಿಶ್ವಾದ್ಯಂತ ಇವತ್ತು ಜನ ಸಂಭ್ರಮಾಚರಣೆಗಳನ್ನ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಪ್ರತಿರೋಧಗಳನ್ನ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಹೋರಾಟಗಳನ್ನ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಜೂನ್ 28 ನಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟೋನ್ ವಾಲ್ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಪಬ್ ಇತ್ತು ನ್ಯೂಯಾರ್ಕ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ, ಅಮೆರಿಕ ದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ. ಆ ಪಬ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಸಮುದಾಯದವರು ಸೇರ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ರು. ಆಲ್ ದ ವರ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್, ಬ್ಲ್ಯಾಕ್ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಟೀಸ್, ಸೆಕ್ಷುವಲ್ ಮೈನಾರಿಟೀಸ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದ ಜನಗಳೆಲ್ಲ ಸೇರ್ಕೊಂಡಾಗ ದ ಫಂಡಮೆಂಟಲಿಸ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದಟ್ ನೇಷನ್ ಹ್ಯಾಡ್ ಕಿಲ್ಡ್ ಆರ್ ಪೀಪಲ್. ನಮ್ಮ ಜನಗಳನ್ನ ಸಾಯಿಸ್ತಾರೆ ಅವರು ಅಮಾನುಷವಾಗಿ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾನು ಈಗಾಗಲೇ ಒಬ್ಬ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೆ, ಪೇಶಾವರದ ಈ ಘಟನೆ ಆಯ್ತಲ್ಲ ಮೊನ್ನೆ ಅಷ್ಟು, 80-85 ಮಕ್ಕಳನ್ನ ಅವರು ಹೆಂಗೆ ಈ ಉಗ್ರಗಾಮಿಗಳು ಸಾಯಿಸ್ತಾರೋ ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಸಮುದಾಯವನ್ನು ಅವರು ಸಾಯಿಸಿದ್ರು 1960 ಮತ್ತು 61 ಇಸ್ವಿನಲ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ಅ ಸಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ರೆಸಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಟು ಫೈಟ್ ಅಗೇನ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಆಲ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಫೋಬಿಯಾ, ಟು ಫೈಟ್ ಅಗೇನ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಆಲ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಸೋಷಿಯಲ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಕ್ಲೂಷನ್, to fight against all forms of social discrimination is concerned. So ನಾವು ಇಷ್ಟೇ ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು, we are fine and you are not fine. You are not fine means your thinking process, your thought process, your judgmental attitude, your notion on accepting and understanding our identities has really made us to be so distant.
To be part of this interview, and it was so lovely to meet Akai, and the first time, and it is. So I have invited her to share my experience about the life of drag queen, or the life of a person who's from the community, to share with you all that it is really privileged to be like who I am. I know there's a lot of challenging that we face in today, And of course, the struggle that we come up and we grow every day and, standing for who we are and receiving a lot of supporters and a lot of help from the society right now, it is really a big thing. And we really appreciate you all for that. And so, yes, I'll just give it to Madhav, yeah? Thank you.
The rights, what we have, everything. Yeah, thank you.
It's all yours, okay?
ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. ಎಲ್ಲ ಹಳೆ ಸ್ನೇಹಿತರು ನೋಡಿ ತುಂಬ ಸಂತೋಷ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಮಾಧ್ಯಮದ ಮಿತ್ರರನ್ನ, ಛಾಯಾಗ್ರಾಹಕರನ್ನ. ನಾನು ಕನ್ನಡ ಮತ್ತು ಇಂಗ್ಲೀಷ್ ಎರಡರಲ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ ಮಾತಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಇಷ್ಟಪಡ್ತೇನೆ. ನಾನು ಹುಟ್ಟು ಬೆಳೆದೆಲ್ಲ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಿನಲ್ಲಿ, ಚಾಮರಾಜಪೇಟೆ ಹುಟ್ಟಿದ್ದು ಬೆಳೆದಿದ್ದೆಲ್ಲ. ಗಂಡಾಗಿ ಹುಟ್ಟಿ ಹೆಣ್ಣಾಗಿ ಭಾವನೆಗಳನ್ನ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಆ ಮೂಲಕ ಜೀವನವನ್ನು ಮಾಡುವಂಥ ಪ್ರಕ್ರಿಯೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ನೋಡ್ತಿರ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ there was a rejection. There was a discrimination in your family itself for not being the way what the family social construct was bounded to. I think from born a male to having a feminine qualities or characters, certain age you did not have your space for you to breathe the way you wanted to. When the environment of family became so conducive, tried to kill myself twice. Where I didn't die. For the second time of my attempt, I wanted to question the rope. Why I should die? ನಾನು ಯಾಕೆ ಸಾಯಬೇಕು? ನಾನು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿರಬೇಕು, ನಾನು ಬದುಕಬೇಕು. ನೀವು ಸರಿ ಇಲ್ಲ. ನೀವು ಸರಿ ಇಲ್ಲ means this whole ಸಮಾಜ, this whole society is not fair enough or good enough. Because the society has a problem of expecting and expectations of judging people's identity based on your sex that you are born with. ನೀವು ಗಂಡು ಅಂದರೆ ಹೀಗೆ ಇರಬೇಕು, ಹೆಣ್ಣು ಅಂದರೆ ಹೀಗೆ ಇರಬೇಕು, ಹೆಣ್ಣು ಗಂಡು ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಬೇರೆ ಆಗಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ನುವಂತಹ. I'm just talking 25 years ago of struggle. Today we are speaking at the Lalit Ashok, having hundreds of reporters, journalists, photographers and media representatives. I think this is because of the activism which happened 25-30 years ago in Bangalore.
Importantly believe that it's critical that people from this community get financial independence. They face a lot of challenges during their education, in college. They face a lot of discrimination from society. So thereby we realize that it's very important to catch these people young. We run internship programs across all our functions, technology.